Yeah. Hello. Hello.
My name's Steve Papp. I'm the principal at the Field of Mars Environmental Education Centre. We are a Department of Education facility, and essentially our job is to try and help kids experience some of those essential outdoor learning experiences that actually help to build up to being sustainable citizens. What we try to do is give kids as many positive experiences as possible outside the classroom, whether that's looking at animals, whether it's actually growing different things, whether it's looking at the types of plants that you find in bushland. But essentially what we've found is, the better the experience is, the better the chance is that the kids, when they walk away from these places, go, wow, these places are special and we have to try and look after them. The students that we've had here today, they've been involved in a special program which relates to Biodiversity Month, where essentially what we're looking at is what are the core values of natural areas and pretty much what makes those natural areas really special. The activities the kids were involved in today were three rotational activities where basically we're trying to look at what are the core values of bushland, why are they really special and why do we need to protect them. So the three activities the kids actually did, one of them was spent an hour out in the bush where they were using digital cameras trying to actually record the things that they saw that they thought represented things that actually made the bushland really special. And the idea behind using cameras is they'll take those photos back to school and they will actually become part of those essential follow-ups back in the classroom, and they may be built into interactive whiteboard lessons and so on. Where we find those things work much better than worksheets. While out in the bush, we've also did things like listen for bird noises. We had iPods, we'd recorded birds. We used spray bottles to try and actually find hidden spider webs in the bush. But essentially you're trying to get the kids to observe things that they would not normally see if they just wandered through without having their eyes basically directed in certain areas. One of the other activities was working with Taronga Zoo, and they brought out a whole bunch of animals that represent the kinds of things you'd find in urban areas or in urban bushland, and they spent a lot of their time actually meeting the animals and actually talking about what it is that you can do to actually look after and protect these animals at home. And again, the nicest things about those activities is the kids get to meet some of the things they never get to see or they never get to see from a distance. And it just helps to reinforce just the sorts of experience that we want the students to have by looking at some of these beautiful things that we have out in bushland. And one of the other activities was basically the kids being introduced to what are the elements or what are the ingredients you need to actually create mini national parks or mini natural areas. The display you see behind me was an essential part of that, and it actually works a little bit like a jigsaw where the kids actually built what is a biodiverse area, and they started off with essentially what was a really low biodiversity area. And to do that, they added things like trees, they added shrubs, they added ground covers, and once you've got those habitat elements, then you've got all the animals that can move in. And to reinforce those concepts, we actually got the kids to grow a whole bunch of native grasses which they can take back to their school or back to home to plant, which is some of those core things that LandCare also actually try to push along. Today, at its whole, was just a part of what the kids have been learning about in the classroom, and the idea before coming to Field of Mars just is to reinforce that learning and to make sure they have those hands-on experiences that will help them to remember and actually value these really core places.